What is a comedy vehicle? While a certain individual has made this difficult to define conclusively, I would offer that it's a platform, be it a TV show or otherwise, created with the intention of showcasing a comedian's talent and/or material. Examples of these are not rare, even in sitcoms, but the material and character are often deeply personal to the individual comedian. So how would somebody external be able to capture the essence of that comedian, especially when, well, the comedian is this man?
I don't know if you're like me, immensely rich, talented, handsome. Isn't it a bore? Well, I found the answer. Zelda links...
By way of introduction, I shall read the first line of his life story, quoted verbatim from his autobiography, modestly titled, Bigger Than Hitler, Better Than Christ. Fucking hell, look at the size of his cock, said the midwife that delivered me. Mayall is, simply put, my comedic idol. Following the immensely successful Young Ones, spearheading the alternative comedy boom in the 1980s, as well as the more subdued reception of Filthy Rich and Catflap, Mayall contacted two writers in Lawrence Marks and Maurice Gran, requesting a show written especially for him. Marks and Gran, while experienced comedy writers in TV and radio, were about as far away from the tag of alternative comedy as could be. Yet still agreed to the gargantuan task of writing something perfectly showcasing Rick, someone with an enormous personality and almost a completely opposing comedic output. So, what was the common ground between them?
Well, who do you suggest we play? Thatcher!
Yes, dear old Maggie, God rest her. Anyway, Marks, Gran's and Mayall's shared enmity of the 80s Conservative government fueled the creation of the new Statesman, at a time where televised political comedy was relatively thin on the ground. It follows the exploits of the right dishonourable Alan Bastard, a Machiavellian Tory backbencher motivated solely by personal, material gain. Accompanying him, through varying degrees of complicity, are his equally devious wife Sarah and his fellow MP and frequent dog's body, Piers Fletcher Dervish, often the subject of Alan's more violent outbursts.
Bottom, please, Pearson.
The main draw of the New Statesman for me is seeing Mayall at his absolute best, and this is coming from an enormous Bottom fan. Alan Bastard showcases his superb physical comedy honed through the Young Ones and the Dangerous Brothers, his bravado and arrogance shown in playing Flashheart, and the sexual deviancy of, well, all of his characters really. Bastard is, unashamedly, a cruel, violent, homophobic, racist, misogynist child molester, a somewhat negative list of traits one could argue. Yet Mayall plays it with such venom and panache, you're almost inclined to support him as he's assisting former Nazis or assaulting adolescent girls. Marks and Gran did an incredible job in highlighting Rick's acting talent, with it resulting in, for my money, the greatest character in his acting career.
Yes, they do say I have a wisdom and a gravity which belies my youth.
While Bastard's sadistic interactions with his colleague Piers are amusing enough, I feel the show really flourishes in the back and forth between Alan and Sarah, played wonderfully by Marcia Fitz-Allen. Their sham marriage is one purely of convenience, yet they really are made for one another, with Sarah more than matching Alan's appetite for unscrupulous schemes and sordid affairs. Their vicious mutual contempt, barely hidden behind a saccharine facade of upper-class sensibility, creates easily the best dynamic in the show, made all the funnier when they have a common goal.
Married to Alan Bastard MP.
Yes, I have that honour, thank the Lord.
All that being said, this may have Mayall's best character, but I have to say I don't think it's his best show overall. Unlike Bottom's remarkable consistency, there are a few episodes in the series which have a very noticeable drop in quality. An example being, after the superb Wapping conspiracy in Halton Price Bunker, California Here I Come has a veering, uninteresting plot, some very tired, clumsy humour.
And I'm Nancy Reagan.
He's lying! I'm Nancy Reagan!
And a particularly unsatisfying conclusion. Another minor point which might deter younger viewers is that a number of the offhand jokes are references to ongoing political matters of the time.
It's all right, Piers. You're as welcome as Jeffrey Archer at the Daily Star Christmas party.
Making some of the humour a little outdated. While unavoidable in the nature of topical satire, it may be a factor why this BAFTA award-winning comedy is seldom repeated in comparison to Bottom and the Young Ones. I had initially, perhaps naively, thought this might have been an issue with the comedy showing on ITV rather than the BBC, but well, ITV. It'd be an enormous shame if the new Statesman is slowly forgotten, due in part to this lack of new exposure, as although an occasional reference is out of date, many of the actual issues portrayed still have some worrying relevance today.
That's why we need schools like this, to keep us away from them, see? To stop them dragging us down to their level. Nothing wrong with the education system that £2,500 a term can't put right, is there? I don't think I'm going to set foot inside an NHS hospital after 10 years of government cutbacks, do you? Take me to Harley Street.
The time has come to choose.
Are we, the victors of El Alamein, going to allow these faceless people to sell us into your oblivion? Or are we going to stand up in this great British party and demand our country back?
Really brings a tear to your eye, doesn't it? Anyway. In summary, if you want to see one of Britain's greatest ever comedic stars, a complete force of nature in a role tailor-made for himself, I couldn't recommend the new Statesman enough. Rick sadly passed away in 2014. Marks and Gran wrote a fitting obituary to the legendary Lord Bastard, while longtime friend and comedy partner Ade Edmondson provided a wonderful tribute to the man himself. There were times when Rick and I were writing together, and we almost died laughing. They were some of the most carefree, stupid days I ever had, and I feel privileged to have shared them with him. And now he's died for real. Without me. Selfish bastard. Thanks for watching, and more tepid comedy opinions to follow.